Hey, I just want to hop on real quick and talk about something real quick. I think this might be too dark in here. Oh, does it matter? Anyways, for like guys that are trying to go, listen, for guys that are trying to go, I want to kind of shed a little light into my mindset about going to Russia right now, okay? Um, After everything that's been going on over there between sanctions, cards getting cut off, whatever. Um, Here's the thing. Here's where I'm coming from about it, okay? Um, I have no logical or practical reason to go besides the fact that I really, really, really want to go. I've been wanting to go for a long time, and I have like, um, I don't know. I don't want to say like nothing to lose, but like this is the only thing that I want to do. Okay, I've thought about it. I've thought about, oh, it's not practical. It's not a good time. Whatever. That, that means nothing to me. Considering that just, I've just analyzed it, and all the pros for me outweigh the cons. So as far, the way I see it is it possible? Is it possible? So it is possible. Is it possible to get a visa? Yes. Is it possible to do it? So it becomes kind of like a mindset issue. Of course, no one's going to pat you on the head and say, yeah, go, don't worry about it. Because people, is saying, what are you, crazy? Like, there's a war, like, and then everyone has like their opinion about whether it's like morally wrong or something to go, because like you're who knows, who knows what people think. The truth is, it's really not your business what other people think. If I worried about all the the nuances of going, look, I was in Ukraine in 2020. I spent 4 months in Ukraine, in Kiev, when all this whatever news broke out about like Kiev getting hit with bombs. I mean, that broke my heart because I was there, and for a person who loves Eastern Europe the way I do, and who loves just Soviet style things, to see like those buildings getting hit is, I mean, it sucks. It like almost physically pains me to see that, besides meeting Ukrainians and seeing how sweet they are. But this, my opinion about it is more nuanced than it makes no sense. It's like trying to explain art to someone. It's beyond logic. I don't know if that sounds weird, but so what I'm trying to say is, if I don't know the type of people that want to go to Russia. I guess there are a lot of people who maybe have like family there, and I don't know their situation. All I know is my situation. My situation makes no real sense. I just have a very strong desire to go. I want to learn the language, and I want to immerse myself over there, and I just want to be there very strongly. When I went to Ukraine, I thought I would scratch my Russia itch, because the truth is that I went to Ukraine out of basically not wanting to deal with all the rigmarole of the visa. Because Ukraine, you could just walk in and get a stamp in your passport, and that's it. But I still had that itch going to Ukraine. I still wanted to go to Russia. I knew my target was Russia for some reason. So this is like kind of like beyond. I know I just said a million times, but it's like it's beyond logic or anything like that. I mean, to say, these controversial things about like people go like way over the edge about you know the government website says not to go. I mean, whatever. I mean, look, if you're an adult, I mean, this is your life. It's up to you to make a decision. You're not a baby, okay? You're not like a baby who needs a babysitter to tell you what to do or what not to do. Like, if you have to go, then go. That's the way I see it, regardless of what it is. I mean, if people, needed everything to be safe, or safe, or just like perfectly clear to go before they did anything, then nothing would ever get done. That's the whole point of like um people who do stuff, people who pioneer things, people who I'm not like saying it's like you're like some kind of brave adventurer to go, but I'm just saying like the environment these days is kind of like you have to make sure everything's perfectly safe to go. And if you want to do that's on you. That's fine, okay? But if you do, what I would say is, if you do have an itch to go, and I'm being real specific with Russia right now because this is like 100% how I feel. If you have an itch to go that defies logic and defies practicality, but you really feel you should go, then go, just do it. Like, and there's a way to do it. So no one's going to really, like, the whole idea of like, oh, I need someone to tell me it's okay. Like, you really don't. If you know, if you need someone to tell you that it's okay, then you're probably not, you're not gonna go. Because like anything that, I mean, just in my experience, like anything that I've really wanted to do, I never needed permission from anyone to do. I was gonna do it regardless of what anybody said, right? So this, because like I saw this kind of comment, and I feel like a lot of people have this type of ideology of like they're looking around at what other people are saying, and then they're reading like this, I don't know, the government website of like whatever. If you don't have like a strong desire to go, then I guess it doesn't, whatever. But if you do, like, if you want to go, then you probably do, and you probably should. I'm just saying, like, these past couple of months have been, yeah, I've had anxiety, and I've had like bumps and stuff, but I mean, if I didn't go, I would like regret it. So it's worth it. And if it's not safe, whatever. I mean, why would it not be safe? But like, let's say Tim Ferriss, he has a system called the fear. I think it's called fear setting, like instead of goal setting. And the whole idea is to imagine. So the best way to do this is if you were to not do this. Let's say you're like a really risk averse person, which would be a person who would like just wait for the optimal scenario to pull the trigger on something. But let's say, okay, let's say you are a risk averse person, whatever. But the question is, like, if you were to die, would you regret not doing this or whatever? So I think that's a good metric. For me, it's a definite yes. Like, I have to do it, and I have to do it now, and I don't see any reason to not do it now. I can't imagine a bad scenario. And I feel like if you have this idea of like, oh, what, something bad's gonna happen to me if I go, then I feel like you kind of like haven't really gone out there enough, because I feel like people that have gone out there enough are not don't have that type of mentality. But I don't know. Um I don't know what people think. So all I know is like, I mean, I kind of get the gist of what people say. People say a lot of stuff like, oh, people say a lot of stuff. People just kind of don't have a good grasp about how things really are. They just kind of like have a fear-based mentality. But yeah, if you feel like you would regret not going, uh or if you feel like you're kind of like being scared, and you don't want to be that type of person who's just like always operates out of fear or whatever, like trying to like avoid um maybe I could be a good example. I mean, I'm gonna go, so I'm planning on going, so barring any unforeseen circumstances that would like absolutely prohibit me from going, that are like out of my control, like I am 100% on track to go. So, and I'm just a regular person. Like, there's nothing. It actually I don't have a Russian wife. I don't have a Russian girlfriend that I'm trying to meet. I don't have family over there. Um, but yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're like, oh, I need someone to kind of tell me it's okay. I mean, I've been there before. Like, I've definitely been the type of person to do that. But then every time, and then I think that's like human instinct, is that you want to kind of be safe. But the reality is that no amount of like assuaging is going to, in the end, you need to convince yourself in your own head. And if you're looking for perfect safety, it's like it doesn't exist. So you just have to decide, is it worth risk? If Is it worth whatever perceived risk? um you just have to be willing to go ahead and just go through it. I mean, it's a pain in the ass. I mean, if you've been to Russia before, you already know the visa is like a pain in the ass anyways, and then the whole thing is like a pain in the ass. But you just have to decide if it's worth it for you. um you're not going to look any cooler for being like safe, and like, all my friends said it's a bad idea to go. Well, of course, I mean, of course no one's going to agree with that. I mean, but you'd be surprised. Sometimes I just people some because sometimes I bring it up in conversation, because a lot of like the tasks that I'm doing, like, involve, like, I got an international driving permit, and of course the lady's gonna ask you like, oh, where are you going? So I mean, you could make up a story and say, I don't know how you would, I don't know, just make up something and just not say where you're going. But I just don't care. Like, I'll just say Rush. I've been asked a bunch of times, and I'll just throw it out there, and people just, um I don't want to make a conversation with a random person, because I already know like they're being exposed to all kinds of news that, obviously, people are just gonna, the automatic response, the automatic like thought is like, don't do this, it's dangerous. And then I'm honestly shocked at how many people like believe the whatever like the government website about like, oh, do not go. Like, I mean, whatever, man. At the end of the day, when you're dying, are you really gonna sit in your deathbed and be like, I'm really glad like I followed all the rules, and I really like, it's up to you. It's up to you to decide and figure it out on your own. I don't understand the logic in just trusting a government website, or just something on a website or something. Like, if you really want to go, then it's up to you to do your due diligence and figure out for yourself if you think it's worth the risk, or the perceived risk. Or But for me, it's just more like, I mean, there's literal problems, because you have to figure out, like, how are you going to pay for stuff. But there's an answer to every problem. There's like a solution to every problem. You just have to figure it out step by step. And that's like life. Like it's cool. It's like, it's a challenge. It's like a puzzle. If it's worth it to you, Obviously, if you have no interest in going to Russia, then I would not recommend going. But like if it's all you want to do, I wouldn't let anything. I don't think anything should prevent you from doing what you really truly want to do, you know? Anyway, that's it before this is like so long. But yeah. Anyway, good luck.